Welcome, everyone. I'm BenitoLink reporter Noe Magaña. I'm acting as forum moderator. Today, we'll be hosting the San Benito County District 4 Election Forum.
Hi, I'm Bob Tiffany. I'm a fourth generation resident of San Benito County. After growing up here and going to local schools, went off to college, got my MBA, spent a little bit of time in the corporate world, and returned just over 30 years ago to run my family's business, Tiffany Motor Company. Successfully ran it for over 30 years, of a company of almost 40 employees until its sale last year. I've also been very active in community service over all of those years. Downtown Association, multiple terms with the Board of Trustees with Southside School. I've been the president of San Benito Business Council for the last 5 years and also was co-chair of Measure G.
My name is Mike Mansmith. I'm a 47-year-old lifelong resident, third generation of San Benito County. Graduated from Hollister High School, went on to Fresno State, and actually commuted back and forth between the two to continue running my business that I still run today. We own a local business, Mansmith's Barbecue, my wife and I. We've raised our 4 children in this wonderful community, and even they are now living within the community. So I do have a large tie with wanting to see this community continue to prosper. I have been highly active in all the youth organizations as my children were growing up.
Good afternoon, Dan Valcazar here. To the voters, please watch my video on leadership. It's the first pillar of my campaign. With 15 years of San Jose Police experience, acting lieutenant, and 22 years of business experience, I've not only been a leader, but I've taught leadership principles in public agencies and private businesses. The second pillar of my campaign is transparency. Honesty and clearly articulated communication are paramount. The third pillar of my campaign is action. I'm high energy. I take a lot of bold action. I am focused on work product, and the next 5 to 10 years are crucial to the success of San Benito County. I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
My name is Robert Gibson. I'm a 5th generation resident of the county. I am currently the vice chair of the San Benito County Planning Commission, having been appointed by Jim Gillio. I worked on the Measure G committee. I was at the farmers markets changing the hearts and minds of people to get them to add an additional 1% on our sales tax to repair our roads. I am honest, dedicated, fair, and balanced, and I'm already working for the people. I have deep ties to the community. I work on a family-operated organic walnut farm, transitioning to citrus and row crop. And I also work at Circle S Vineyards at Tres Pinos. Okay. I worked on the Measure G committee, and that was an important step in getting our roads repaired. It's going to be a slow process, unfortunately, because our sales tax base isn't what it could be, and that will be one of the issues I work on. I'm also the chair of the Planning Commission, being appointed by Jim Gillio. And my function so far in this race, one of the vineyards up in Cienega, I went to pay them a visit, and they complained about the road. It had been ground up by the construction company, and there was just a big rut, and had been sitting there for weeks, just like Southside Road where I live. So I contacted the RMA director, and his quick response led to the road receiving a minor repair that made the damage to the vehicles almost non-existent, as long as you're not hitting it at high speed. For local business, I try to keep government red tape to a minimum. At Suncoast Bakery, there was a lot of things that the staff wanted done, and I managed to get that reduced so that the bakery could operate and not spend a fortune.
So as far as locally here, I'm the president of the Ridgemark Homes Association. I've been involved for many years. I've been the president the last 2 years. That compromises 677 homes. So a lot of the residents, I deal with a lot of the issues that are within Ridgemark. So that's one of the things that I've been helping with over the last 5 years. As far as what I would do in Sacramento, I already go there twice a year for two different items. One of them is for the police memorial, and the other is for the real estate conference that's annually held there. So I talk to a lot of the senators and assembly people and lobby for, you know, the different things that are important to San Benito County. So that's what I would say as far as recent contributions.
For the past 5 years, I've been very involved with various youth organizations within the community, being 4-H and FFA. Sat on the 4-H County Council for the past 12 years, and then the FFA Ag Booster President for the past 8, due to the fact that my children were highly involved in those organizations. I do think that the youth and the ag organization or organizations within this county are very important. They need to be emphasized, and that is what I've been working on for the past 5 years, or actually more. As far as Sacramento goes, am I out of time?
Oh, you got 10 seconds.
Okay. I do agree that there would have to be meetings set up to go over the needs of our county with.
Your time's up, Mike. Thank you.
Well, as I mentioned, really for the last 30 years, I've been very involved in the community. But specifically the last 5 years, I've been a member of the Community Foundation Board, which helps nonprofits and those people of need in the community. I've been the president of the San Benito County Business Council for the last 5 years. We work very closely with elected officials and staff people from both City of Hollister and the County of San Benito. And I also was the co-chair of Measure G in 2018, helping to address the situation with our roads, specifically Highway 25. As far as Sacramento, I know Assembly Member Robert Rivas and Senator Ana Caballero, and I know I can work well with them in Sacramento. I've already spoken to each of them about some of the needs that we have in our community. And I feel that with my background in business and community service, I can work effectively in Sacramento for the needs of San Benito County. Thank you. My biggest concern is to make sure that our citizens are safe. And this is an extremely difficult situation. It's impacting, of course, our local businesses, as well as our local citizens and their families. And it's dramatically impacting our overall local economy. So, you know, my primary concern is to get us through this pandemic safely, which means following, you know, the state mandates, following a science approach, and the way that we can start opening up our community and our businesses sooner rather than later is to deal with the pandemic and get beyond it. And then I would immediately move to go through a recovery period for our businesses and our economy and move us forward within San Benito County.
My biggest COVID-19 concern is that we need to get our businesses reopened. Our businesses have struggled so badly through all this, and they are currently either shut down temporarily or permanently. We need to get them reopened. There needs to be some personal responsibility amongst our community as to what risks you're willing to take. And therefore, if you feel that you are at high risk, then I do believe that you should stay home and take on the full scope of whatever is necessary for your own personal health. But I do believe that our businesses need to be reopened immediately. Just from a business owner standpoint, I know that the loss of revenue, which directly impacts Measure G funds.
So I really want businesses to open. And I think everybody has their best interest at heart. Everybody wants to be safe. Everybody wants to be healthy. I think, though, what we come up with is a risk versus respect issue. And so I brought this up when I spoke before the county supervisors meeting. And I've been involved in a lot of these type of administrative type ordinances, not penal code stuff. But I believe that if all of us got along, we wouldn't have a problem. But there are some people in society that aren't as respectful, and somebody has to say something. So I had a four-pronged approach, which started out with encourage people to, if there was a mask ordinance or a distance ordinance, encourage people to comply out of respect for others and the risk to certain people. Educate them if they're not aware of it. Warn them if it's a worst case scenario. And if you had to have a administrative site, then maybe you'd have to go that route, but that's 1% of the time.
Other than the health issues that are obvious, my concern is for the businesses and the families that own those businesses. A lot of them have not reopened due to the various rules. Or those that are still open are running at a quarter of their potential or less. And it's been going on so long that a lot of those businesses will shut down and they will never reopen. And the numbers are going up because they're being spread by asymptomatic people. So there's no way to tell, who's protected and who's not. So the best advice, I believe, is that if you are concerned about your health, to wear your mask and social distance. My concern would be that the state in the middle of this is trying to raise property taxes on businesses, and it will drive more businesses either under or out of the state, which will further damage our economy. And I think that we need to have better communication across all government agencies. I think it's paramount that we communicate with San Juan Bautista and Hollister, because everything that they do impacts us and vice versa. As a planning commissioner, I attempted a number of months ago to get a joint planning commission meeting, but there was not staff time available to set that up. It will be something that I pursue as a supervisor, that our commissions work together, and that we also meet with the city councils of those two cities, because we have to work together. We have to have a cohesive housing strategy as well as a commercial strategy. And the county does need commercial in the county. We cannot rely on property taxes, or our roads will continue to deteriorate. So I would also pursue that we get some retail in the county, as well as bring employment to the county, independent of the cities.
I think as you've seen in the county, some people aren't getting along, and we need to raise a level of professionalism and respect and decorum. Having that, I think if everybody would kind of imagine a square box and have those as our clear boundary lines as to what's acceptable for our county. If we have too many residential homes coming in, maybe we need to curtail that. If we want to increase our commercial buildings, then let's focus on that. And we just had a big study done, and it was presented to the county, and it talked about what we should be doing, and they're continuing down that road. We need to communicate that information that's coming to the county to the residents in a better way. And many times we've had the questions about that, whether it's social media, email, Zoom meetings, etc. But the common ground can be made with leadership.
Everybody within the two cities, and even Tres Pinas, Paisinas, everybody within the county, we all want the same thing. We all want to be in a community that all gets along, and we have plenty of money to fix our failing infrastructure and put in new. There's no doubt about that. So I believe that by openly communicating with one another and working towards a common goal, all of our different government agencies can get along and work together. as far as the commercial growth, is something that we desperately need. We desperately need to increase the tax base so that we can improve all of our infrastructure and repair what we've already got. Also, simply by increasing the amount of commercial development that we have, the amount of money that will come into the county
I think it starts, as far as residential growth, I think it starts with being on the same page with, is it going to enhance the quality of life for our citizens? That's got to be the starting point. And a big part of it is making sure that we have proper infrastructure. I don't think we've managed some of the residential growth properly. And we have to be sure that not only the infrastructure is mitigated for the project, the residential project itself, but also that it enhances the entire infrastructure. We have to deal with Highway 25. That certainly is an area of common ground. And then, of course, I think we all can agree that we need more jobs in this community. We need more commercial and industrial growth. More jobs will increase revenue, and it will also pull people off of Highway 25 and Highway 156 and make everyone's life better in our community. Well, I appreciate this opportunity. As I mentioned, I've been in business over 30 years, both at the dealership and also in community service. Of all the candidates, I have by far the greatest amount of experience in this community, in almost in all cases in leadership roles. And I feel that with that background, I can come in, hit the ground running, and help the community during this very difficult time, help us get through the pandemic and start recovering.
Thank you. 2020 has brought new challenges to local government, and it requires a business can-do approach to meeting those challenges. Too many times elected officials say that the reason something cannot be fixed is because the state or some other entity is blocking common sense solutions, and they give up without any innovation that an entrepreneur would typically have to use to run their own business. I believe that our elected officials need problem-solving skills, common sense, and need to be hardworking, all of which I possess.
Thank you, BenitoLink, and to the voters. Let's stop the supervisor infighting and let's start forging our successful future. I bring a broad spectrum of professional experience, 37 years combined from the public and private sector. I have the leadership experience to move this county forward. My team building and communication skills will be of great benefit to San Benito County. Together, we can preserve the rich history of San Benito County as well as reap the benefits of a bright future. Please vote for Dan Valcazar, and the best of luck to all of the candidates.
I want to thank BenitoLink for putting the forum on, and everyone else for running. It takes a lot of courage to run for office, and I want to thank all of you. So as a vice chairman of the Planning Commission, I have experience and leadership. I'm well respected on the Planning Commission. The other commissioners look toward me when it's time to make motions and such. I genuinely like and care about others' well-being. I enjoy learning, reading, researching, taking the packet home when you get to, that was quick. Am I done?
Yes, you're done. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Those were all the 3 questions that we had for you all. We want to thank you for participating in our forum. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care, stay safe.